guy pissing on your car? Fuck the fuck! Get your dumb ass out of here, man!
Alright, cut. That was good. Melissa, was there anything that you noticed that we can do better?
I just bought a new one. Spend a couple thousand just to cruise. Shawty said she love me, but it's question of approval. I put it in the music, but that's okay. All I wanna do is make the best of my whole day. Thank the Lord up above, get the cream on the side, make you laugh to know.
I hope she's bringing that guy she's dating.
She's like, yeah, sure.
We could just talk if you wanna.
And filling your mustard bottles with ketchup.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm a
Yeah, exactly. What?
It's like the story of my life. Best friend, but we rocking all the same things. You say you need me, but you really trying to change things. Well, I don't even care. Life, I don't battle with no fear.
How far is that drive?
Fighting dragons, always been a real one. Ain't you saying showing love, you a real chameleon.
Just hanging out.
Straight out, just chilling. Like, we can be friends if you wanna. We can just talk if you wanna.
Heck, sure. Yo, Danny, take this girl too.
We could just laugh if you wanna.
Smash?
Late nights on the stars
You
if you
smash?
wanna.
Yeah, that's me, boy.
Were you recording that whole thing?
Yep.
Oh my god!
Alright, so first week's in the bag. First week of production. What are your thoughts? How do you think things went?
Kind of hard to believe that we even got to the first week.
Right?
But hey, like the first day, and purposely we scheduled it to try to ease our way into like the rigors of production. So like the first day we did it here in the tuxedo shop where we've shot there before for the proof of concept. So for some of us it was familiar. It was a long day. That was probably one of the longer days we had. We had to move from here over to the tuxedo shop.
You drove in from Minneapolis. How far is that drive?
6 hours.
6. Committed.
I'm
Damn.
good though.
Nice.
Action.
Oh, honey. You're gorgeous.
This isn't right. I look like dog shit.
Well, it's a little long. But what were you thinking?
You see how far my ass looks? I said I wanted to look like Holly Berry.
Well,
She's not a plastic surgeon. You do have a flat ass.
You know, just to be brutally honest, like we looked at the footage and the tuxedo shop, we ran into some issues because the monitor that they're focusing on just wasn't working.
Yeah.
So we had to like, I don't know, they were doing something with a tape measure. I don't know what it is, right? But so it's like we kind of messed up on some focusing. We got some things in the shot that we didn't want to, like on the ends of the frame, but we got enough coverage where we made it out there live and got good stuff, and we don't need to reshoot. And then Wednesday, we went over and shot the T-Dog scene, where that was one scene. It took us a long time because we were trying to get that one really long take, right?
Are they on the same color temperature? No, they look the same to me.
I've been asking people, what are their thoughts on Raisin Bran? Now, are you for or against Raisin Bran?
Anybody that eats Raisin Bran cannot be trusted.
What?
I think it's been, I mean, for the most part, it actually is kind of more a fun job than it is a challenging job, I will say that. But it's been interesting because all the characters kind of have their own personalities and they kind of need a wardrobe that goes with it. But a fun tidbit is that a lot of the actors are actually wearing my clothes.
Swag. Captain Swagger. Would you wear something like that?
Not
You don't like the pink?
No.
I think the pink is...
The robe I would. But
Okay.
the pink is a little too much for me.
A
It's
little
too
bit too
girly
much.
for me.
That's fair.
Where we ended up getting it, it took like, I think 17 tries. But actually from looking at the footage, I think it was number 13 we're going with. But we did mess up and get a reflection. But again, we got enough coverage where we can use that very long shot until the end. Then we gotta cut around a mistake we made. But it's still really good stuff, really funny. That scene, Take 13, was definitely the funniest.
You come to the scene at night. Get your ass out of here.
I think it went really well. I mean, I think it's just a matter, you know, the first couple days is like feeling out how we all work together. And then I think, you know, as we approach week 2, it's like, okay, we all kind of know how communication just gets better because you learn how to work with, you know, your crew and everything and how everyone works. And then you kind of can adjust from there.
Thursday was a crazy day because we were shooting in the small bar. We're shooting in the small bar today.
Right.
And we thought we had the location secured.
Right.
Actually, we kind of always knew we didn't have the location secured, I'm gonna be honest with you. We always wanted to shoot at this bar, but we never really got a confirmation.
Yeah.
So a few days ago, Danny talked to like the manager, not the owner really, but the manager. And he was like, oh, I gotta ask the owner, which it wasn't a no, it was just like, probably not Thursday, March 4th, right?
Right.
So I'm like, hey, let's just try to beg and get in there. So Danny and I went over there earlier today and we talked to the G or whoever the guy was, right? The manager, and like Danny kind of knows one of the owners and was texting, and we go in there at 4 p.m. Call time is 5. We go in there at 4 p.m. and talk to like the lower level manager, and we just bag them. We're just like, hey man, like, you know, you're not gonna notice we're there, but I mean, like, I oversold it, like, hey, this one, like, you know what I mean? But then he was like, oh dude, like, you guys are good, like, we'll accommodate you, you guys need to move things around. So it was like, dang, and then it's like, hey, look at that, we're booking locations hours before we're scheduled to shoot. We go in there, and then when we get in there, it's crazy because the place is packed when we walk in there, and it's like, all right, how are we gonna go shoot in here? And everybody's looking at us all crazy. So we kind of waited an hour or two, and the place died down. And then we were able to get in there and start shooting, but we still had people that were like looking at the camera, everything like that. And then we gotta try to keep the continuity because people are like leaving the bar, coming back in.
So I know like the first week we shot in a bar that was open, so I couldn't put down any stands, you know, we couldn't bring the tripod in. We were basically we couldn't really put up many lights, if any. We just kind of were able to stick some magnetic quasars in certain places, but like we also were just super limited on what we could do, and that's been the case with a lot of locations.
When we shot downtown, we really had to work with like all the street lights that we had, like, you know, on set, and like we basically just had to work with whatever was on the streets and like trying to mimic our own look. You know, Melissa really wanted to go with like a colorful aesthetic, so we kind of just put like lights that were kind of shining off like some of the streets. You know, sometimes there's some streets with like fluorescent, and some bars that have like color popping out right at the windows, and like, you know, open signs and stuff like that. So it was really cool, you know, exploring Chicago and like all the streets and just like all the lighting situations we put ourselves in, which was really, I think we got some really cool stuff.
It's a lot of like working with what we got. So I feel like I'm using a lot of like my documentary brain when it comes to like some of these locations where we have pretty much like no ability to set up lights or pretty much anything. So it's just like about, okay, I got a lamp over there, or I got a light shining this way. Okay, if we just put it like slightly in front of it, we could get a nice like little thing going.
Yeah, everything was going smooth, and then at the very end, one guy, he started like complaining about us shooting there. Like, he's not a guy that works there or anything. He was just like a, you know, one of the dudes that go there every night. And he's like, oh, I want to play music on the jukebox.
What's up? I want the jukebox to play in about 2 minutes if you guys can wrap this shit up. You don't got an iPod? No. All right, let's get it. That was good for me. Is that good for you? All right, that's a wrap. Woo! Now you go play. Yeah! Christoph, gang! Jukebox time! Thank you. Christoph, gang! Jukebox time! Jukebox time, suck my dick.
You know, we were able to get out of that day live, got the footage, won't need to reshoot. And then Friday came. You know, before that, Thursday after we shoot at the bar, you know, we're shooting like the party scene on Friday. And we got the house lined up, whatever, for it. but it's one of our friends. He texts us at like 2 in the morning. Hey, sorry, my roommates don't want to do it. You guys got to find somewhere else. So, you know, instead of like trying to reschedule, we're just like, hey, let's find another house. Danny's grandpa's in Florida. This man's 91 years old. He's in Florida, and we go over to his place that he has in Illinois. It's in Hillcrest. Yeah. And we go over there, and we have to totally clean it up, change the rooms around, like made it look like a completely different house. We got in there, got some footage, but on that scene we also have to shoot outside. But to be honest, outside scenes were a little rough. We got shadow. We had, you know, we messed up having some lights on, some lights off. So we ultimately, more than likely, gonna have to reshoot that scene later on.
Just relax, man. We're gonna be there soon, all right?
I think that the hardest day for me was the first, because this was the first film that I've ever like worked on like grip. I've never worked in like the lighting department ever, and so showing up, I had no idea what to expect or what to do, or like barely even what my job was. So it was like just hard, and I was very nervous because like I was being told to do things and I didn't know what the words meant. But once it was like shown to me, and like Melissa taught me a lot of things, I was able to pick it up, and you know, I feel a lot more confident now.
This is now on week 2, right? So yeah, week 2 we shoot outside. Monday and Tuesday were very pleasant, considering that we're outside shooting in places we didn't have permission to, and didn't have really any hiccups. There were late nights, but I thought that they were gonna go a lot worse. I thought people were gonna complain and like cops were gonna get called, but no, we basically just got to do what we wanted to. I mean, the first night that L was really killer on the ears. Wednesday we were at L's Beef, and it went well. We got what we needed. It was just kind of annoying because customers kept going in and out. Like, you know, I know, because like what we had to do is like when we're doing a take, I told Bill and Danny to stand at like the entrance and exits and like just hold people off, right? Like, all right, we're doing a take, you guys can go in after.
I fucked up. I let one through.
I know like one dude ended up getting really pissed, you know. But yeah, it went well considering, you know, the circumstances. Like it's a restaurant that was open, you know, on Clark Street, like in Wrigleyville, so it's like pretty popular. But we were able to get what we needed, and then Thursday, which was yesterday, we were shot at Airbnb.
Yeah, that's nice, man.
Learner and roll? Dude, look at all those twos!
That's hella twos.
There's so many twos.
We got some fun lamps.
You're all good.
This is my room.
Yeah, we got some
It looks
fun
cool.
lamps. We also have this. Look it. So this
Dang,
is, I was gonna wait until you get in here and start talking.
Everything went well. Like we were really worried about noise complaints. Like we even made up this little thing about the owner saying that there was a noise complaint even though there wasn't, just to get everybody to shut up a little bit. It's almost 11:30.
Right.
And everybody's being kind of loud out there.
Right.
I don't want to risk getting shut down. So currently, Bill's supposed to be on noise control, but there's 5 beds here. He's in a room with 2 beds, passed out on the floor. 2 empty beds, and he is face down in the carpet. But what I want Bill to do is I want Bill to act like he got a text message from the owner that there's a noise complaint.
Text.
Hey guys, Bill has something to say real quick.
Guys, we got I got like a message from the owner, like the people downstairs are like they said something, so we just gotta keep the volume down. All right, I don't want to get kicked out and have to reschedule and do other shit.
Hey, Maria, call me real quick. We actually didn't get a text from the owner. I'm just like, Bill, tell everybody that to get out.
Really that loud?
It's like there's sometimes
I was about to be like, Bill, what the fuck? Why didn't you tell me?
So there was a lot of things that could have gone wrong with the neighbors not knowing, a lot of potential noise complaints with 20 people inside of, you know, that thin type style apartment that's typical to the Chicagoland area. But things went well, so I feel like if we made it through that, I'm good for the rest of the way, honestly.
We thought we made it through clean, but then I guess Bill gets a message from like the people saying like, why did you guys glue a painting onto the wall? Because I guess we like maybe left a painting there or something we didn't take down. And then like when we took it off, it like took the paint off of the wall. I mean, they could slap some paint on, and then Bill made up some lie like, yeah, we wanted to make the place seem more homey or whatever. But
damn, this is Lisa.
Please, Miss Roger, if your manager didn't send you my work, then we'll leave right away. But can you at least check?
Say it exactly like that. Where we got to shoot Lisa's house. Got about 5 hours to get like nearly 8 pages. So we're gonna have to be surgical on this. I'm a little worried about the time, but I think the owners will be lenient for a little bit later. But yeah, we're just gonna have to be on our shit and get everything, like, and can't really fuck around and miss our marks on things. Cause it's like we could do like 3 setups the most on a take. Like on some of them we gotta do like 1 setup, but we gotta be moving quick. So then after this, we're gonna get a weekend, and then next week, that's already a bag of trouble. So we got outdoor scenes and we got weather issues.
Chicago, sponsoring this
Guerrilla
video.
style, you know what I'm saying?
Guerrilla style. Go Pat.
Hey, you stealing electricity?
Gotta do what you gotta do.
What's up?
Performers here at this point, because it's like,
So
you
no,
want
they're
some of this
gonna.
too, or am I yelling all the way back there?
So they're gonna come in sooner. So for this shot specifically, we're not too worried about them coming in yet. But the idea is like once you spray him, he goes down, right? And then they're gonna come over.
So we had to keep it very like run and gun.
Right.
So then again, we're using like the magnetic quasars, or we're putting up little quick small lights here. Again, working with the street lights is like a big thing we were doing. And like, you know, adjusting, blocking, kind of seeing what we can do with that. I mean, that's kind of just the name of the game with what we did all those outdoor scenes with, especially, you know, since we're doing these long walk and talk scenes almost. So we wanted to make sure like, okay, we got some street light coverage so that we can, you know, see them as they walk down this long sidewalk. So shooting in the city is good for that.
It's gonna be really good. It's gonna be hilarious, you guys. Live up with your movie.
Dude pulled up on a fucking dirt bike.
What's been like the toughest thing for you, like personally, in your position so far on set?
There's been a few shots where, like some of the nighttime scenes, it's like harder to like get a perfect rack focus to like someone in the background, just because it's like a little bit darker out. So I'm like fucking pushing my face up against the screen to like see if I'm hitting the spot. But I mean, aside from that, I feel like everything's been going pretty well.
Okay.
Reviewed some of the footage and it's looking pretty crispy.
They just don't get it. They just don't get it, guys. They just don't get it. Let's go.
Unbelievable.
Hey, try some milk.
They don't get it. Come on, guys. Let's get out of here. They don't get it.
I like this jean jacket. See if we can get an audition.
I'm hungry.
Boom. All right. We did weeks 1 and 2. We had an abrupt halt. What happened there?
So weeks 1 and 2, well, actually week 3 went well too, kinda, right? Because
that's right.
Week 3 we did really well. We had a scheduled break on St. Patrick's Day. We actually shot Thursday and Friday, but what happened was kind of like worst case scenario, but we expected that it was a possibility is an actor got COVID. So that did put a damper on everything, where we got through 3 weeks, then we got that positive result, got people tested, had some more positives, but what that pretty much did was sent us into a whirlwind of scheduling issues.
Alexander Lewis. It's such a pretty name. Is that like your God-given name? Yeah. Sounds like
Just terrible scheduling issues. But we resumed back up, and the next upcoming week that we're in right now is pretty brutal. Not a lot of sleep. I already haven't gotten a lot of sleep, but yeah, it definitely is scary though, having to stop production, especially after 3 weeks. Because it's like we're so close to finishing. But it's like there's still a lot of important scenes. So, and then also what kind of just made everything a little bit worse is for some reason everybody decided to go on vacation April 1st. Like we had to push things back, but it's like now we couldn't I would like to shoot for another, if we had an extra day of shooting from what we're working on now would be great, but I literally have like 4 people that are going out of town, and some of them won't be back until like for a month.
Right.
So it's like we had no choice but to cram everything in to like 5 days, and that's where we are now. And these next days, like tonight when we shoot, it's gonna be like we're getting there, and we're already behind. Like when we get to the location, we're already out of time. So it's like that's gonna be the same thing for tomorrow. Thursday, we're in the sound stage. And we shot the sound stage yesterday, and that actually went decently well. I mean, I haven't seen all the footage, but from watching it, it looked good. But we're doing most of the car scenes in the sound stage on Thursday, which hopefully is a little bit more of a relaxed day because we're on a sound stage. We're just there all day.
You better say no. He could propose to me in a porta potty, and I would say yes.
Did Schmidt's friend say anything about me?
Stacy? No, he's in love with my cousin.
Oof, if Lily fucks him tonight, she's dead to me.
She is not going to do that. She's seeing that guy.
Jam-packed and hectic that yesterday we had to change locations 3 times. So we started in the suburbs and we had to move to another location in the suburbs. And then after that we had to go to the city.
Well, Stacy and I have a lot in common. I was telling Danny and a few other people, I told enough people. I fucking talk a lot, so of course I told a lot of people. And how like this script was basically like if you took chunks out of my life and put them in a movie and like combined them, this would be like problems. Like I have a very similar story with my ex-girlfriend. The little up and downs he has with the different females that he interacts with in the film, same fucking thing. It's just like Stacy and I were. I knew when I read the script last year doing the proof of concept, I knew I wanted to be Stacy. I knew that I could tell this story as well as fucking he would want it to be. At least, hopefully that's what I thought, and hopefully that's what we see.
I mean, go ahead. There's Cool Ranch, dude.
The Cool Ranch is lit, dude.
Dude, I don't fuck with Cool Ranch at all.
Dumb, dude.
Like, I will, no.
You say that's like, you just rule out.
Controversial.
Like, I'm baffled at times. Like, how do you have friends?
Ugh, it's like you're eating an air freshener or something like that.
So Cool Ranch is so good.
Description of like, fuck Cool Ranch.
Scene 72, take 1, Mark.
Action.
Get off. Yeah. You trying to get out of here now or what?
Your birthday today.
So you're
Yeah, she's doing good. She got her second COVID vaccine. She's doing real good. She's having potato pancakes for dinner tonight. She's very excited. I don't know. Did I say enough?
Luke, I was just thinking about this the other day. I want to say Luke is like a mixture of like, he definitely has little man syndrome. I definitely say that because like he's a little dude, like he's always confused. He's always confused with a little bit of badass because like he's like, man, these supposed to be my boys. Like it's always like little mini fucked up situations that he's in. So it's just like Luke has like little man syndrome. He's always like the little angry one. Stop! So my biggest thing was like, all right, this is what I prayed for. Don't drop the ball, Terrence. Do not drop the ball. So that was a big thing of mine, just like seeing it through like every day. I don't care like if we have to do it over and over, like how many takes, like each take, try to do my best. Like try to give it the same. Like I don't care if the camera's not on me, if I'm on set, like, and like just continue like giving it my all. Of course, like I mess up sometimes, but one thing, it was just like I want to stay, remain consistent. That's my biggest thing.
It's set.
No, it's not part of the set. I did this trying to make a fake boner.
How'd it go?
That's how it went. But, I mean, we're getting close.
I don't know what kind of bonus you're cutting up.
Look, we're gonna have to see if this is gonna be long.
Damn, split is.
I'm interested. Yeah, no, yeah, you got him good. Gashed up. And we just have this bitch go in, and it's gonna be like that. I mean, come on. What's it look like? If his shirt's over it, easy, cheese.
Nice.
Might need to make it a little bit longer.
Nice cut. He knows that when he likes it. I'd be like, well, I'm like, Doc, I just want to know, like, how close am I to, like, breaking or tearing it?
Yay!
No. Who's the kid you're asking for?
Sponsored by Kirkland.
You're like, was I right? And then you say maybe, and then be like, perfect record, or something like that, okay?
Still undefeated?
Yeah, still undefeated. And then there's one other thing I was gonna tell you.
Got a fight coming up.
Yeah, still undefeated.
Francis Ngannou next, baby.
Damn right.
Book it, Dana.
I love that guy. I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy for that guy.
Okay, I was drunk. I go through about
You can't plug into the other thing in the outlet or something. So I can see where that comes in. But then there's also like so many things that it's like
the one that everybody learns.
Are those Cool Ranch?
You don't fuck with ranch?
Nah.
Bro,
They are
I don't
good.
fuck with you.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, and tell your friends they owe me a new fucking rug and I never want to see them again. Alright, bye Stacy. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Two days.
He's got a nice edge from that light. 3-point lighting. Just make sure you're not blocking this light. Okay, cool. I think you're good.
Oh, do you have a motorcycle?
And then can we actually, we might want to go more vertical with it, just so it gets more of his body. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I think that'll work. You look beautiful, and then we'll just get, see this nega in there? So come in like right close, like this.
Oh, I'm probably not.
Yeah.
Got the hairline.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes.
I just love you guys. So
Yes.
that's what we'll do for the close-up. But we're gonna do the wide first.
What do
The
you want
wide
for the
will
wide?
just live with the light.
I get to go first this time.
What am I supposed to do though?
Alright, so you want to get the wide?
Yeah.
Suck my ass!
Oh! All right, Zach. That's that night.
That's that night.
You made it. 1 year and some change in the making. The meetings, the constant schedule conflicts, you know, just all the stuff that goes into making a movie. What's your experience been like throughout this whole thing, from beginning to end? What's it been like for you?
Is
Is this your first feature you've done?
So this is my first feature.
Okay.
This is my first feature, and I've wanted to. So on my second short film, which I made in had to have been 2016. I remember when we wrapped on that day, thinking this is my last short. Next thing I'm making a feature, because I mean I got into movies to make features. I made short films, but that was my film school. So this is, it's cliche, but my baby, right? Because yeah, it was a year in the making of when we did the proof of concept. But for me, so I'm 25 now. I wrote the script when I was 23. So it's I've been with this for a while, and now that we're finally wrapped on principal photography, it feels weird because I'm overall happy. Obviously, next step in the process is done.
Yeah.
But it's I spent so much time planning for this month, right? Everything was all how are we gonna shoot it, you know what I mean? And now that we've finally shot it, it feels like it went by too fast. But thinking back, during this past month, it felt long. It felt long and too fast at the same time. And that kind of hit me on Thursday when we were in the sound stage. We wrapped up, most of the actors. I'm wow, this character that I've been with and everything, we shot all their scenes like this character exists now on, you know, on camera. So it's like, it's just very weird feeling because this entire time, everything that we've been doing, it was before we started shooting. And it's like, okay, we get to production and it's wild because there's so many ups and downs there in the process. And like I said in the other video, it's the first 3 weeks were great. Of course, we had day-to-day things that we had to overcome, but that's producing. It's like Danny did a great job. Me and Danny, like that's what we love doing. Is like we love having some issues and having to go fix them. But when, you know, we had the COVID happen and things had to get paused, it fucked up the scheduling. And that's for the past week. That has been like a riddle almost, because it's like, oh, this person is going on vacation this day, this person has to be out on this day at this time, and oh, we can only get this location at this. So it's like we had to totally morph everything, where it's like, for example, on last Monday we had to shoot at, what was it, 2 different outdoor locations, and then we had to go to a sound stage and shoot there during half the day. So it's like but that just speaks to the team in total, where it's like Maria, she did a great job of like figuring out the schedule for this past week.
The production itself, I honestly would say the COVID element has been difficult, just because I'm trying to keep everyone safe, but also you want to have fun and you want to have a good environment. So it was just like balancing all of that together. And there was a lot of schedules, a lot of people, so it was definitely intense for me to like figure out that stuff and like who can shoot when and balancing everybody's lives, you know?
Right. Lisa! You Lisa? This is Lisa? Oh, Lisa! Oh my boy's in love with you, girl! Bro, can you please look at my boy's stuff? Come on. Oh, he's better than Michelangelo, Picasso, Donatello, Raphael, Da Vinci, all of those. I'm telling you, Lisa, can you please look out for my boy? Like,
yeah, I feel like if you asked me this question beforehand, I'd be freaking out. Like, I don't know how we're gonna get these locations and get all this. So I think a lot of it for me was getting those big locations, you know, getting that PT cruiser, whatever that we needed, actually executing it and getting you know, something tangible that we can use. So I'd say, yeah, one of the biggest challenges was finding all those spots, coordinating it, sort of making it happen. Also driving all the equipment was tough. You know, not like the act of it's doing is tough, but always being there physically, having to pick things up, drop them off. So yeah, during it, it's like very long and tedious, but now I look back, I'm like, wow, that month flew by.
Right.
So there was somebody that kind of brought me in and kind of shepherded me and showed me the way and didn't care that I had no idea what I was doing, that I didn't go to film school. So it's like, I always want to do that for people, where it's like, yeah, I don't care if you don't really have experience, but if you are dedicated and you want to be there and you believe in the project, then we'll love to have you. Honestly, I don't know if it's necessarily hit me yet that like we're done shooting, but I really think, and it might sound like cliche and dumb, but I really wouldn't care if this movie had like no success and nobody saw it. It's like the relationships that were created from this. Like, I spent time with people that I've never known before, right? And it's like I got to know these people, and it's like I said, like I like kind of learned to love them over this time, because they're like doing so much for me. Like, cause this story in this movie, I make movies for myself. I don't make movies for anybody else. So it's like I made this movie and they did it for me. So almost a way it reconfirms like I'm doing the right thing. Like, deciding to become a filmmaker was the right choice, because I loved every minute of it, even the bad moments, and it's like I would do it all again. Like, if they were like, hey, yeah, we actually lost all the footage, I'd be like, all right, let's get back to it, let's do it again. And I'd be happy about it in a way. I would, of course, at first I'd be pissed, but then I'd be like, I'm happy because now I get to make things a little bit better.
Possibly the most challenging thing was not even related to the set, but it was actually like outside of the set, like trying to coordinate different things and shift things around to really make this happen, because I really did want to be a part of the set. After the first day, I got a taste of it, and I had a lot of fun, and it was really nice meeting everybody, and I knew I wanted to set things aside and really help make this happen. So it's been a blessing, really. It's been awesome. So.
It's the light.
The dark was on.
Okay, so we just, yeah.
I believe everyone that worked on this, like, cause it's a lot of young people that are new to this, like, do not get discouraged. Like, there will be those moments of like, did I make the right decision? But I really hope they worked on this project and then they are also reconfirmed like that they made the right decision in like the past that they made, because everyone that worked on it, I know they have a future in this business and they can do great things. So it's like, I would really hate for, you know, like years from now or whatever, and I like reach out to a cast or crew member and I found out that they're like, they got a job, you know what I mean? Like they got like a regular day 9-to-5 job, because they would just be like, man, that's like, it would sadden me to see them give up on it, because like I've seen so much in all of them, you know what I mean? So it's like, I would just tell them, keep doing it. It's super cliche, but like I said, they're young and they're inexperienced, you know, they don't have a lot of experience. So it's like, yeah, just keep doing it, keep working on other projects. And I really hope that some of these people kind of start doing their own projects. Like I really want them to kind of learn from like me, Danny, and like the producers of like, yeah, there's this big mountain here, but we're gonna move it for the day and then we'll move it back later. Like that's where I really hope they take from us, because you know, it's hard to like get all these no's. There's tons of rejection. Nothing ever goes the way you want it to, but to be able to just keep going. And like, that's what I would want. Just have that mentality, never give up on it.